In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a service that most web designers and SEOs do not offer, but absolutely could be in order to really make a huge impact on the businesses that are served, all while increasing your own value at the same time. So of course, I'm going to be sharing with you what this service is, but I'm also going to be showing you what this actually looks like, how it works, and giving you some very specific ideas on how you can offer this to your clients so that you can implement exactly what we are talking about here in your own business. So if that sounds good, please do give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other videos like this coming your way. I not only greatly appreciate it, but it really helps me out, and I thank you for it. All right, now I am sure that at some point you have seen this somewhat inverted pyramid image that represents a sales funnel. Now at the very top of the funnel, this is the widest part of the funnel. And this represents where you have all of the leads that are coming in, both the qualified and unqualified leads. And they're there gathering information. And as the funnel goes down, well, it starts to narrow, and this is where a business starts to lose leads. This can be both good and bad. And as you get down to the very bottom, this is the most narrow part of the funnel. And this represents where all of the qualified, the best quality leads are. And those leads turn into paying customers, what every business wants, right? You see, most leads that are coming into a business, about 10% at the absolute most, are the ones that just come straight to a business and say, yes, I'm going to buy your product, or I'm going to hire you for a service. Most of them, 90-something%, are the ones that actually need to be nurtured. They need to be warmed up. They need to have trust built. They need to know that the business really understands their problem and it really is going to be able to help them find a solution or get the result that they're after. And this is where the whole nurturing process of guiding a potential customer, turning them from that lead at the top of the funnel and bringing them all the way down to the paying customer at the tip of that funnel is so important. You see, this is why so many businesses are actually losing leads, because they are not taking the time to nurture and to communicate with leads at the different stages of the customer journey throughout their sales funnel. And this is exactly where you come in. You see, the process of overseeing this customer journey is called sales funnel management. And this is a service that you can be providing to really help a business get better insight into what is working and what is not, what is missing, and what is going to help them hold on to leads and be able to better convert them into paying customers. So what I want to do is I want to show you what a simple 3-part sales funnel actually looks like for these businesses, what is actually included, and can help guide a customer through that full customer journey. So that way you can see a bit of what is actually included and how you may be able to help. But then I'm going to follow up with some very specific ideas so you know exactly what you can do to be able to help these businesses, how involved you want to be or not involved that you want to be. So let's go ahead and dive into this 3-part funnel. Now the top part of the funnel is the awareness stage. This is where the customer knows there is a problem, but they don't know what the problem actually is. So they are doing some more research or trying to learn more to determine exactly what the problem is so they can take things to the next step. So in the case of a chiropractic client, for example, they may be searching for information on why does my back hurt in the morning? And so they're looking for information to try to figure out what is the cause of their back pain. So then they can figure out how to find a solution for this. So this is where educational content can be really, really helpful. So this can come in the form of blog posts or videos describing the information, or even a quiz asking specific questions to help narrow down what some of the possibilities may be. Now in the second phase, which is the middle part of that funnel, this is the research stage. So in this stage, this is where the lead has determined what the problem is. They've been able to define this a little bit more, and now they're looking for available solutions. So this could be what products or services may help them be able to solve the problem that they now understand they have. So this is where they may be asking questions like, what is the most effective technique for back pain in the morning? Or what is the best way to select a chiropractor? So content that really helps with leads in this stage of the customer journey are really more in-depth guides, because now they understand the problem and they're really on the hunt for the right solution. This can be comparison content or even checklists, and really helping them to look at what are the pros and the cons of the different solutions that they may be researching at this point. Now in the bottom section of the funnel, this is the final section for them. So they are now ready to choose. They are ready to make an educated purchase decision. So now they believe they have defined the problem, they have found the solution, and now they are ready to go to find out who has the particular product or service that they now are in need of. So now they may be searching for best chiropractor near me. So the type of content that can be really helpful in this phase is FAQs. This could be video. So if you think about a chiropractor as an example, is the lead now able to see the actual person that they would speak to in the office? Are they able to hear about the treatment online before actually going in, just to build up some of that trust, to make sure that essentially what they're looking for is, I understand the problem, but are you going to be able to give me the result that I want? Are you going to be able to help me fix it? And so this is where that type of content comes in. So videos exploring the product or the services, again, looking at side-by-side comparison, even demos of how this works. So this is really all about building confidence that this is the right place to be for this particular lead. So that right there is a very simplified version of a 3-part sales funnel, but this is really what it's about, helping the person to understand, yes, you have a problem. Now let's try to figure out what specifically that problem is. And now that you understand that, let's look at what solutions are available to you. And now let's narrow down to what solution is going to be best for you so that we can recommend a particular provider or product for you. So now where do we go from here? Now I really want to take some time to give you some specific ideas now that you have seen this funnel, you've seen what it looks like, to understand where you fit into all of this. How can you take something like this in looking at this customer journey, looking at the sales funnel, and taking this to a potential business owner, a potential client, and saying, this is really what we need to work on here, and understanding the different services that can fit in. So let's take a look at that. Now this is really where things get exciting, because there is a lot that you are able to help with. And so we're going to look at that right here. Now I want you to remember that you can be as hands-on or as hands-off as you want to be in the process. And what you choose to do is entirely based on your own business goals and how you want your business to run. So let me give you a couple examples of this. Now what you can do in managing this sales funnel is to simply be the consultant here, to guide the process, to oversee this. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you are the one who's actually going to do the work. Now you can choose to be the one who implements this entire process. You can choose to have a team who is able to do this for you, or you are able to simply set up the sales funnel in the different pieces and then give that to the business to go implement. Now, a good way to be able to not have to provide all of this service, but to be able to still profit without having to necessarily manage the individual little details that are coming up for this, is to be able to partner with different professionals who are able to handle different aspects of the funnel. And this can work by you receiving a commission for the referral or for any portion of the work that is sent their way. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. So depending on how much you know, you want to learn, you're willing to learn, there's always an option for you to be able to consider how to be able to offer this. So with that being said, let's look at some of the actual specific tasks that you can offer within sales funnel management. And the first is in creating or even directing content. As we looked at in the different stages of that sales funnel, there is content that is needed for each of those stages. And as the customer goes through their journey, what they want and what they need is very different. So if what you are offering them is pricing information and case studies, but they're just entering that funnel, well, that's not relevant to what they are looking for at that time. So that lead will be lost. So this is making sure that there is content based on the different stages. Now, the next thing that you can do is also help with a good CRM or even sales funnel tool. This is going to help the business understand where each lead is in the funnel, how long it takes for a lead to turn into a paying customer, and which parts of the funnel are actually helping these leads convert and turn into that paying customer. Now, the next thing that you can do is help engage, especially those leads in the first 2 stages. And we want to emphasize that even though the big conversion that we want is in that final stage, most businesses are not engaging with those potential leads that are coming in those first couple stages of the customer journey. That's why we really want to make sure that they are engaging with those leads there. So this is where we are making sure that we have enough content, that we are educating them on the topic before we are necessarily moving into educating them and building up trust within the actual service or product that is being offered by the business. Taking a step back, this is really also about monitoring the progress at each stage to make sure that everything that needs to be implemented within each stage is being done. And again, whether you are providing that work or not. Now, one of the biggest tasks that always needs to be done for sales funnel management is setting goals and then tracking those goals. Without this, there is no way to effectively know how well a sales funnel is or is not working. So these goals have to be established from the very beginning, and there needs to be a way to track these. So this could be through call tracking, email tracking, website tracking. There's different ways to track a customer as they go through the journey and actually see what is happening. So as we set these goals, we're going to be looking at, does the business want to target a specific audience? Do they want to double their revenue? What are the specific goals that the business has that they want to see happen? This is where we really want to look at what is the purpose of the sales funnel. And we want to know that because that is how we're going to be able to get the most from the sales funnel. So we are going to measure the results, and we need to make sure that we have something in place. Again, this is where the call, email, or site tracking is coming into place. And finally, we are going to be setting up the metrics to track and measure. So this is very important. And if you're wondering, well, what are the metrics that we actually want to be looking for? Let's cover some of these. So first, we want to be looking at where are the sales coming from? Which traffic sources are actually driving the sales? So if a business has 5 different traffic sources, but we see 80% of the customers are coming from one particular traffic source, well, that's very important to know because we want to make sure that's where we're putting in most of our effort. And we are really letting go of anything that we've been putting a lot of effort into, but is not resulting in nearly as many sales. Now, we also want to look at the overall number of sales, the conversion rate, how many leads are actually coming through that funnel, and then turn into paying customers. So we make sure that we can see the numbers to help us determine what's going really well and then where are people falling off so that we can make sure we are getting into that particular piece of the funnel and fixing what is ever going on with that conversion there. We will look at the average time to close. How long does it take a lead to actually come into the business and then travel down to that final step there where they become a paying customer? Is that a week? Is that 6 months? Is there anything that we can do to expedite that process, or is it working well right now? How many of the customers are new versus returning? Are we making recurring sales? Because we know it's easier to make sales from the current customers than to go out and find new ones. How much is the average revenue per customer that is coming in or per sale? So you see, these are some of the very important metrics that we can track. And when we are measuring these, we can easily see what is working well and what is not. So we can tweak and test over time to make a really solid sales funnel for a business. And the final step that you can help with as part of this sales funnel management is what you were probably most used to hearing about. And that is helping with getting traffic, getting visitors and leads coming into the business. And as you know, there's all different kinds of ways to do this. This could be through the website. This could be through SEO. This could be social media management, Facebook ads, and building case studies and newsletters and paid ads. See, all of these are different ways that we can bring in traffic to this particular business. So as you can see, there are a lot of different ways that you are able to help a business with sales funnel management. And again, this can be as hands-on or off as you want to. So if this is something that you are new to and you want to learn more about, I highly recommend that you go back through this if you need to. Take a bunch of notes here. Write down the different steps that I have talked about, the different tasks, the different ways that you can help, and start with one stage of the funnel and identify any tools that you may want to use and any different stages that you may need to be able to expand on based on the particular niche or industry that you work with, because all businesses are going to be different. And this is why one of those stages is to actually sit down and define what these sales funnels will actually look like for that business that you're working with. There are definitely plenty of resources out there that will go into a lot of these different aspects, a lot of tools that will help guide you through this process as well. And I'll be talking more about different parts of these sales funnels here coming up as well. And you can check out this video here where we talk about a sales funnel and the different parts of that funnel and how you're able to actually take different services and help a business be able to grow their revenue. So with all of that said, I hope this has been extremely helpful for you and is something that you consider doing. Let me know in the comments below if this service, sales funnel management, is something that you would consider offering. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know down below as well. All right, thank you so much for watching.